Welcome to A Better HR Business, the podcast that looks at how HR consultants and HR tech firms grow their businesses and how they help their employers to get the best out of their people. Remember, for show notes and downloads, go to www.getmorehrclients.com/podcast. That's getmorehrclients.com/podcast. Okay, let's get started.
Hello, thanks for joining me again today. Today I want to cover two unusual but powerful lead indicators to use in your HR related business. Now, by lead indicators, I mean you can look at them and get a sense of the health of your business in an unusual way. So when we talk about lead and lag indicators, you probably know the lag indicators, and they might go across all sorts of different departments or functions of any business. In the financial or the sales and marketing side of things, often we talk about revenue. So that might be monthly revenue generated or costs, expenses incurred. But a lot of those are lagged. So you look back and you think, well, that's up or down, but doesn't necessarily give you a lot of information. But there's two interesting ones I like to look at over time. You can track them, and they often are very closely related to the health of a business. So I'm just going to tell and walk you through them. So the first one is the number of sales meetings. So whether that's a sales call, where these are all scheduled things booked in your calendar. So I don't mean cold calling people and making cold sales calls, but I'm talking about actual sales meetings with potential customers or clients. So again, if we're talking about the software world, the HR technology world, this is more for enterprise clients as opposed to your SaaS thing where people just sign up from the website. And it's absolutely applicable for the consulting world because that's the way it typically works. People hear about you, or they see you on LinkedIn or whatever, they visit the website, they book a call, and they book a sales meeting. And these days it's usually through Zoom or Microsoft Teams or whatever, but sometimes it's in person. So number of sales meetings. And if you look at that per week or per month, how many of them are you having each week? So if you're having one sales meeting a week, then just by looking at that number, you'll know, well, if I convert 1 in 3, 1 in 4 of those calls, then you need 3 or 4 of those meetings to get a new client, right? So, that's maybe being a little bit optimistic, whatever, but the number of sales meetings that are sitting in your calendar, if you look at that over your calendar, even if you don't want to download stuff and put stuff into a spreadsheet, just look at your calendar and look for the number of sales meetings in there per week. And that will tell you about the health of your business. If you're not having enough, then you're not getting enough proposals out there. You're not getting enough proposals won versus proposals lost. And you're not getting clients because clients churn as well. So churn means they leave or projects finish or whatever it may be. So you do need to be having that pipeline being filled. So the number of sales meetings that are sitting there in your calendar will tell you, am I doing enough? Am I filling that pipeline enough so that I have the opportunity to put a proposal in, to make the sale, to get a new client onboarded and then look after them in all the usual wonderful ways that you do. So are you having enough? And if not, then you need to start to say, well, how can we get more of those? And that's your whole marketing and sales approach, business development thing that we talk about a lot on this podcast. But look at that number. And the other interesting or unusual but powerful lead indicator to use in your HR related business is the number of new leads adding themselves to your mailing list or your CRM. So I mean, let's say you use HubSpot or MailChimp or MailerLite or any of those sort of ActiveCampaign, whatever it may be, an email marketing software. How many new leads are you getting in every month? If that number is increasing, then that's a good, healthy sign that you're doing the right thing. And it's important to note that I mean voluntarily entering your software, your email marketing software. I don't mean going out and buying lists or trying to scrape websites and things like that and adding them to your CRM, to your mailing list. That's not voluntary. I mean people out there in the world who are in your target market, who may potentially be an ideal type of customer. People like them putting in their name and their email address, maybe the company or phone number, some other details into your email system. So that might be in exchange for a lead magnet like a PDF or a guide or a white paper, a report or a spreadsheet, or to join your podcast mailing list or whatever it may be. But how many people out there in your ideal target market are adding themselves to your system every month? Because don't forget, as you know from our mini workshop that we have, and it's part of the HR Business Accelerator, we've got the how to create an automated online lead generation machine. Part of that is, well, if you've got leads coming into the system, you can now have automated stuff that educates, nurtures those leads so that when they're ready to book a call, they know where to go, they know how to book a call, here's the link or the page to visit, and more of them are doing that automatically every week, every month. So if you can keep that number of new leads entering your email software, entering your CRM, if you can keep increasing that number, then that is filling the top of the funnel, which then feeds into your automated lead generation machine. Now, if you're not getting an increase in that number of new leads, or if it's stagnant, or if you don't have any, then really start to think about why not. Am I not being visible enough, for instance, at networking events, if that's your thing, or if you like being on LinkedIn? Am I not posting enough? Am I not inviting enough people to come and check out the website or to get this lead magnet? If you're running ads, then are your ads not converting, or are you not putting enough budget to it, or are you advertising to, hey, book a call, when ads generally don't work? If you go straight to a book a call thing, it's let's get them into the email system. So look at those two things, the number of sales meetings that are sitting in your calendar every week or every month, preferably every week, and then the number of new leads. Those things are great lead indicators for the health of a business, because if you've got enough new leads entering your system every week, every month, then if you've got the automated lead generation system that we built behind it, i.e. the automated emails that get sent out or remarketing, whatever you want to do, if you've got new leads coming in, you're warming them up over time, then automatically they start to convert into new sales meetings. And so you've got that virtuous circle, the virtual cycle thing, the flywheel effect, where you've got new leads entering the system, new sales appointments being booked, which means you're making more sales or making more proposals, won proposals, winning new clients and onboarding. And that's how you start to scale it up. So yeah, a little bit unusual, or that they're not the usual, let's look at the number of sales contracts or revenue or whatever it may be. But I just find that if you can have a look at them, and if you're not into downloading those numbers every month, every week, or extracting them into a spreadsheet and stuff like that, it's not that hard. Look at your calendar, see, maybe color code your sales meetings, make them red or green or whatever. So you look at them and go, oh, look at all those green ones, or whoa, there's not enough green ones in my calendar. And then same with your leads, just go into your email system and look, what was this month's number versus last month's number versus the one before it. That'll take you 2 minutes. Just log in there, have a look. And if it's going up, then keep doing it. And then ask yourself, well, how can we make that increase even bigger? How can we increase that velocity of growth? And if they're not going up, if they're going down or stagnant or not happening at all, start to ask why not. Am I approaching things the wrong way, not necessarily marketing the right way, that sort of stuff. So again, number of sales meetings, a number of new leads adding themselves to your mailing list or CRM voluntarily. Check them out and have a think. Any questions, get in touch. But otherwise, we'll help you with that in the HR Business Accelerator, and all the best.
Thanks for joining us today on A Better HR Business, the podcast that explores the world of HR consulting and HR tech businesses. For show notes and downloads, go to www.getmorehrclients.com/podcast. That's getmorehrclients.com/podcast. Remember to subscribe and share the show with any friends who are busy growing a HR business. Thanks, and see you next time.